Okay, first off, before we start, I want to show you guys something you can make once you learn some of these skills. So I made this little dinosaur, and he is our mascot today. So it's kind of awkward to get started because the yarn's kind of going all over the place, but don't worry, you'll get better at it and we'll take it slow. If you are already used to crochet, just fast forward to the point that you need or use the instructions. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm going to show you how to do the magic circle. So normally when you crochet, you go back and forth in a straight line, and if you crochet in a circle, like things like this guy needs, or like our flower needs, then you there are two options. One, you can kind of use your hook to join your line so it goes in a circle, or you can start with something called the magic circle, which is what we are going to do. So I'm going to take your yarn, make sure you've got it's nice and loose for you, and then you're going to want to, with the tail here coming down this way, the end of it, take your yarn and wrap it around your two fingers, one over the other, so there's an X, right? And the part on top should be the strand of yarn that's going into your yarn ball. Here you go. So you've got the X here, and then the lower part leads to your end. Okay? So you're going to take your hook. You want to hold your hook kind of like this, like with, so your four fingers up here up top, and then your fingers are holding it down here, right? So you can use it at any angle, which is going to help you a lot when you're making your loops. Okay? So take your hook. All right, take your hook. Sorry, William's following along. And take your hook and let me show you how you're doing that. So take it, slip it underneath, like above the cross of the X, underneath the lower one and over the higher one. And then you're going to take your little hook part and you're going to pull that higher thread under, and then you're going to rotate your hook like so, and then you've got kind of a loop on here, right? Okay, and then you're going to go over all of this, and you're going to take and go under that top loop again, and you're going to hook it and then tilt up, because that's always going to help you be able to drag things through loops. And so this is called right here, this is called yarn over. So you take that and then you tilt up and you pull through. Okay, so once you've done that, you have a loop, right? So I'm going to show you one more time. Here we go. So you take your thread with the end facing you and the other end going out. You get your two fingers, you loop down, and then you loop over to create an X. Okay? Then you take your hook, you kind of hold it like this, okay? And then you go under here, and then you hook that, you pull it through, this kind of helps you twist it and keep it on your hook, right? And then you do the same thing again. You go under the top part, hook it, pull it through. There we go. And you're gonna want to, so when you pull it through, you want your hook angled down and up to get the loop through. So like this, William, like down and up. Other direction. But you've got, no, you've got it. Your hook, it was just a little bit upside down. But no, you're good though. You had it. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So, okay, once you do that, you still got your end loop. It's coming down here. It's nice and long, which is good. And you've got a circle, right? And you've got your loop here. So using your forefinger to kind of control where your loop is on your hook is helpful. And then I also sometimes just like use my other fingers to hold the knot if I need to. But otherwise your yarn can feel really loose and awkward and it's hard to deal with. So now you're gonna wanna hold the yarn in your other hand. So use your pinky, scoop that thread, and then loop it all the way around the back fingers. And now you can kind of control the tension of your yarn using your pinky, and then just kind of how you twist your hand, right? So, and then if you ever need to, you can always readjust if you feel like the thread should be tighter. You don't want it like super tight, because that will make your stitches really small and hard to manage, but pretty firm will help you have your stitches not too loose, right? So this is your tension, and you'll get better at kind of getting a feel for it as you go along. Okay, so kind of grip your loop here, and then I'm gripping this other loop with my finger so I can go in the circle. I'm gonna yarn over again, pull that, and then pull it out. So now I have 2 loops on my hook. And then once you do that, once you've got your 2 loops, you're gonna do the same thing, except you're not gonna go in the circle this time. You're just going to yarn over. So you're gonna go yarn over, and then you're gonna pull this yarn through those 2 loops. If I'm going too fast for you, you can always go and like rewind and look at this again. So you always kind of want to keep that upward angle, so that, because it kind of lets your hook pass through the wider parts of those loops on your hook. So there we go. We're gonna pull all the way through. If it feels tight, and you can't like pull the yarn like nice and big, that means you've probably got a little bit of those 2 loops still on your hook. Sometimes you can find it and kind of slip it through still. Other times you just want to undo it and try again. So that's just a common problem. Still happens to me sometimes. All right, so so I'm going to show you this again. Go in the circle, yarn over, pull it out, yarn over, pull it through the 2 loops. Here we go. And sometimes you can like twist your hook like that as you're pulling through. It'll help you get it through. You just made your first stitch. All right. We're so close, like we're just cruising, you guys. We've only got 2 rows, so we're on row 1, stitch number 1. Okay, so on your instructions, I have written 2 languages. So I've written the language of crochet, right, where it has all of the abbreviations and you're supposed to understand what it's saying, and it's really kind of hard at first. And then I wrote the translation in parentheses. So it says, oh, and I'm using yellow instead of brown, but you're going to want to use brown. I'm using yellow because it's easier to see, and my petals are going to be blue. So I'm really sorry if you started with yellow and you needed to start with brown. All right, so it says using brown, make an MC and single SC into the MC, 6 into the MC. So what it's saying is make a magic circle, that's the MC, so we did that. And now we're gonna single crochet 6 into the magic circle. And we just did 1 single crochet. So we're gonna do that 5 more times. We're gonna go in the circle, yarn over, pull out the loop, yarn over, and then pull it through. If your stitches are loose, you can tighten it at the before you start your next one. You can undo it if you want, just but I wouldn't be too picky if you're just starting out. Just get the hang of it. It's all good. Okay, so we're gonna go in again, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through the 2. Now we've got 3 stitches. So I can tell I've got 3 stitches because we have this little pair of yarn threads here, and then another pair, and then another pair. And that's kind of how you can see we've made 3 stitches. And underneath each of those pairs is a little hole, and that's how you go in again and make the next row of stitches. But we're not there yet, so don't worry about it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do, so we've done 3, so we're gonna do 4. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit, gotta get more yarn here. All right, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so as you can see by looking up top, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Okay, so this is where you're gonna need to make it into an actual circle, right? You also need to change to your second color. So we're gonna start by joining the circle. So take, so you've got this row of stitches behind, right? You're gonna want to, making sure these always stay on top so it's not upside down, take it and then pull it over here on this side, and then fold it back so you can see your first stitch right here. Your hook is going to go into the hole underneath those 2 stitches. So kind of like poke your hook, don't get in that loop again, poke your hook through those 2 stitches, and then it's the simple yarn over again, right? So we're gonna yarn over. This is called a slip stitch. So we're gonna pull that loop through, and instead of yarning, doing yarn over again, we're just gonna pull it straight through that loop. And so now we've combined, we've joined our circle, right? And then you're gonna wanna take your loose thread here and just pull it tight, and it will get your stitches in this nice circle. And just keep pulling tight. Might come loose as you go, so you can always pull it tight a little more. And so now you've got this little circle of stitches. It's an eternal circle of stitches. It will never end. And now you're ready for your second color. Okay, so on this little thread here, we're going to show you kind of how to deal with this at the end, right? So you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so you can see that I put my stitch in through this little hole here, right? This is where we started. But since it's a circle, it's kind of hard to, when you're crocheting, to figure out the beginning and the end. So that's why I use a paper clip. And let me grab one. Well, you can also buy like actual like little safety, they look like little plastic safety pins, and they'll close, which a paper clip doesn't close. So I kind of prefer those, but we gave you guys a paper clip so you could kind of help keep track of your work. So if you want to go through and stick your paper clip into the hole underneath these 2 threads, this will let you know when you've reached the end of your row. Okay, that is less important for a craft like this, which only has 2 rows, but it's a nice tip. All right, so we've got our yellow, but we need to swap, and I'm swapping to blue so it's easier to see. So I'll grab my blue, and you can grab your yellow. All right, so we're gonna want to cut this yellow part. Okay, so leave yourself a nice long tail and cut. There you go. You're done with yellow. In fact, you are like halfway done with the project. You've completed row 1. Okay, so you know how we have this loop of yellow? You're just gonna want to pull it all the way out. So you've got a tail, and then you're gonna ignore this tail for now as well, and you're gonna weave it in at the end. But for the moment, we're just gonna reach into this hole here, and or this one here where we made our first stitch, because you can tell this thread is going down in here. That's how I know where I am. And pull through, and then you're gonna want to grab your this one's tricky because you have to grab it so that it feeds from your yarn ball and not from the end of your thread, otherwise you run out of thread. So you want this to go out, let's see, I gotta think of how I'm doing it. So just kind of hold it for now, grab it through, so you've got a loop. Okay, and I'll wiggle it so I can actually, oh, I've got some yellow there, so I'm gonna try and slip under. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so now you got a loop, right? And you have a clear sense of this is the end and this goes to the yarn. So you want to take this one that goes to the yarn and you want to wrap it around your hand again. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little tighter because we don't need quite that much. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now you are in here, and you are going to do a half double crochet in the same hole. Okay, so a half double crochet just means that you yarn over before you go in as well as when you go in. Oh, I wonder if I got in the right hole there. Oh, looks like it. Okay. Okay, you can pull that tight. Oh wait, I forgot to yarn over. Okay, so yarn over. Okay, yarn over, go in, yarn over again, pull it through. You've got, oh, what's going on there? Oh, it must have come loose. Okay, we're gonna try that again. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through. Okay, so you've got three loops on your yarn. So yarn over again and just pull through all 3. That is a half double crochet. We're going to wiggle it around. Oh, there's a little bit of a strand here. And we're going to pull under it. Or you can just redo again. Okay, so we just made a half double crochet. Now it wants us to do a double crochet. Okay, so one note, half double and double, those are just kind of like, the half double is kind of a stupid name, but half of a double really is a single, but it's a different stitch from the single crochet. So we call it a half double crochet. That is the only logic I can give you for that name, and I know it's not much logic, but that's okay. We're gonna do a double crochet now. So like the half double crochet, you yarn over before you go in, then you go in, yarn over, pull it out, and once again, I have caught some thread on my, all right, once again, I have 3 loops. I am going to yarn over, but I'm only gonna pull through 2 of the loops, so you can kind of pull this one back if you want. As you pull through, now I've got 2 loops on here, and then I'm going to yarn over again and pull through both. That is the double crochet. It's like one extra step. So and then it wants us to do a half double crochet in the same stitch one more time. So we're going to go in, or yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull out, pull through all 3, yarn over and pull through. All right, And look, we have a petal. See how it starts small and then goes big and then comes down again? That's what we did. All right. So now I want you to go in the next stitch. Look, we made it to the second stitch, you guys. All right. So see those two little yarn bits there? There, you know that's a stitch. So you want to go under them. And it wants us to do a slip stitch first. So we're going to go in without yarning over, and then we're going to yarn over, and then we're just going to pull it through, because that's your slip stitch. Now we're going to do our half double crochet, half double crochet to make the rest of our petal. Okay, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull out. You got 3 loops, pull through all 3, and that's 1 half double crochet, yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, and then half double, yarn over, go in, pull through, or yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through all 3. That's our second stitch. And look, we've got 2 petals. All right, next one, slip stitch in the next stitch. So find your 2 things, go underneath it, pull through, okay, half double, pull, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through all 3, wiggle it around, oh, yeah, there we go. All right, double crochet, yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the other 2, half double, yarn over, pull through all 3, get myself some more yarn, here we go, and we're halfway through the second round. All right, so obviously here you can see we've got our 3 stitches left, and we're gonna pull this tight because this is coming a little loose there, but that's okay because we're gonna worry about these later, remember? All right, so we're gonna slip stitch, so go in, pull out, pull through, slip stitch. Okay, now we're gonna do our half double, yarn over, go in, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, double, yarn over, in, yarn over, out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, yarn over, go in, because we're doing another half double, go in, pull through all 3. You can see once you get the hang of it, it goes really quick, and then you can make so many cool things. All right, slip stitch in the next one. Here we go. So we can tell we're almost there. Okay, pull out, pull through, slip stitch done. Okay, half double, pull out. I was looking at this penguin I made my brother, and that was like when I just barely got the hang of going in a circle, and this penguin was packed with styrofoam peanuts because I didn't have any filling, and all of like the little tummy and the arms and stuff were falling off because I didn't know how to sew properly. But it was great, and now I can make another penguin if I want to. All right, so we did a half double, so let's do double. And if you guys want to learn how to make more stuff with crochet, we can totally get some kits ready for you. You can just comment on this video and let us know if you're interested. So this is the last half double. Oh no, okay, so I can't pull through because I've got something on my hook, and I'm just gonna pull out. I'm gonna pull these loose to get rid of what I was just doing, and I'm gonna try again. All right, so half double, that's what we're doing. Pull it through, pull it through. All right, last stitch. So this safety pin, if you guys, like, if the safety pin's driving you nuts, take it out. In any case, we are going to take it out right now because it is in the hole where we are about to go. Here we go. Okay, so it's nice though because now we know we are officially at the end, although you can go and count stitches too because we are on stitch number 6. So slip stitch first. Oh, we only got one of those loops on our hook. Now we got both. Okay, pull through, pull through. Okay, so one of our 2 loops is actually our loose thing, so we're just going to keep a hold of it. And then yarn over, go in, yarn over. This is the half double, so we're going to pull through all 3. Same, almost the same for double. So yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through 2. And here we go, and then half double. Yarn over. Oh, this is getting loose, so let's pull it. Okay. So here, yarn over, go through. I'll bet there are some of you out there that know how to do this better than I do, so good job, you guys. What are we at? This is, I think this was the last half double, so we're gonna pull through. All right. And if you ever lose track of where you're at, you can also just like undo all the way to the last stitch, so that you can kind of keep track of things. Okay, so this is where we started making stitches here with our blue. So see these 2 threads? We're gonna go under them and do a slip stitch to finish up our flower. So here we go. I want to make sure those 2 threads get on, those 2 loops. See, 1 and 2. So we're just gonna slip stitch, yarn over, pull through, and just pull through again. And you guys, we are so close. We just need to get rid of our extra threads, and you're gonna want to cut, leaving yourself some room to play with, and then just pull off. All right, so we have all these threads to deal with. So if I had been properly smart, I would have given you guys needles to sew this up with, but I didn't think of that. So you can do a couple different things. If you don't care about how it looks, you can go and knot these 2 threads together and then kind of weave them through the yarn a little bit and cut it off. Most people who crochet don't want to do that because it will leave a little knot, and especially in something like this, you're going to be able to see it. It, however, is nice and easy because you know it's going to be secure. And without a needle, that's probably the most secure thing you can do. If you have a needle at home that will fit yarn through it, you take your needle, you thread the yarn on, and then you push your needle through one way, kind of just within your stitches, pull it out, and then go back the way you came and kind of go over it, and then cut it loose, and that will be nice and secure for you. And then the other way you can do it is you can just try and weave these in without the needle, and just kind of use your hook to kind of go, kind of keep the yellow in the yellow, but like kind of pull it through different areas of your project so that you can keep it nice and tight. There, you can tighten the circle too before you start tucking that piece of yarn away. So you can pull in, grab it, pull it through, find another place, turn it over, find another place to put your hook through, pull it through there, and just kind of keep doing that until you've got a decent, like you've done it a decent amount of times, and then you can cut your thread short. And because I'm going to be lazy this time, part of me is internally shuddering, but that's okay. I'm just going to pull this blue thread a little closer to the other blue thread and kind of pull that the rest of the way through, and I'm gonna knot them because I tried weaving it through with my other flower here and I didn't do it enough, and part of it's coming out again. So because I didn't use a needle, I'm just gonna go with this one. But if you guys want to actually get into more crochet, I would highly recommend getting a darning needle. Okay, so there's my little knot. I'm gonna cut it. Sometimes even this can come out. So if you want to be really thorough, you can weave the ends in a little bit and then cut them. But I'm just gonna cut them. And I'm going to see if I can pull this knot down so it doesn't look quite as, yeah, I can tuck it in a little bit. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing here with the yellow. Pull this through and knot it at the back. It also, if you're gonna do the knot, you should have more foresight than me and kind of decide which end of your flower is the back end. So then you can do your knots on the back end. And if you're sewing your flower to something, like you could glue it to a headband or a little hair clip, then the back end, what the back end looks like doesn't matter so much. But if you're like my great grandma, the back end looks exactly like the front end because you're just so good at what you do. She's awesome. So there you go. All right, so this is, I hope your first, if this is your first time doing crochet, I hope it's not your last time. Hope you don't hate me by the end of this video. Crochet is a little bit fiddly to get into because you're trying to keep everything tight, but it is so much fun to do. And like if you're watching movies or you're binging, I don't know, Mandalorian on Netflix, then you have something to do with your hands, and by the end you have not only watched Mandalorian, you've made a flower or whatever else you want to make. You could make a blanket, a scarf, or a hat. So yeah, there you go. That's our craft. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a good one.